All right, let's get into our quarterback talk because we got a guy that everybody's been asking for information on more and more. We just haven't done much with it because, quite frankly, he's towards the bottom of our list here. We've had a lot of stuff to talk about this offseason, but it's time. It is time to talk about Tyler Shough and do the scouting report here for him. This guy, I think, owns the record for most years in college football. I feel like that's where we're at here. It's insanity. He's 25 years old, guys. He's going to be 26 by the time the season starts. This man makes Michael Penix Jr. look young. That's where he's at,
That's saying
okay?
a lot.
He makes Bo Nix look like a wee baby.
Yeah.
He's from Chandler, Arizona. One of 5 kids, so big family growing up there. Went to Hamilton High School. Started his junior and senior seasons there. Set school records for losses, first off, which is interesting. Completions, attempts, yards, and touchdowns. So he's had a lot of good ones there. We got to include the one bad one. The school's been around for about 20 years, and they literally had their second worst season that junior year for him, and that's why so many losses. Obviously, most people only play 1 year as a starter in high school as a quarterback there, maybe 2, which is what he got, but a lot of them are just one and done's kind of thing. When he graduated, he had offers to go to school at Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Michigan, South Carolina, Indiana. So a lot of nice big schools there. Chose to go to North Carolina, but switched a few months later to go to Oregon. So 2018, played in his 18 snaps before redshirting the rest of the year. They got to shut him down. So that was 3 games overall with no passing stats whatsoever to speak of. 19, he was Justin Herbert's primary backup. That just tells you how long he's been playing. How long has Justin Herbert been now in the league? I think 19 was his last year. So that would be 5 years.
Yeah, it would make sense. He already got an extension, so.
Yeah, 5 years in the league, and he was his backup. It's chaos. In that season, 5 games, 0 starts, 12 of 15 for 144 yards and 3 touchdowns. Interesting thing is, only 12 completions, but 3 touchdowns. It's not a bad ratio. I would take that. 2020 was named the starter for the COVID season, as we remember it now. He started off great, but the team lost back-to-back games to Oregon State and Washington. The team barely made it to the Pac-12 championship, and the whole reason they didn't is because one of their games got canceled because of COVID issues, and had they lost that game, it probably would have booted them out of there. But they did end up going to the to the championship game. He started losing some snaps at that point in some series to Anthony Brown at the quarterback position. And then the team lost their bowl game to Brock Purdy's Iowa State team, which, again, Brock Purdy's been in the league for how long now? Sheesh. I feel like this guy's going to collect ARP before an NFL paycheck at this point. It's like ridiculous. That season, 7 games, 106 for 167 as far as pass attempts and completions. 1,559 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. At that point there, he transferred. And this is one thing that I see with him a lot is he faces some adversity, I feel like, and he transfers. So,
get a trade, get a new team.
Yeah, things aren't going away. I'm out. That's not something I like to see in a quarterback, personally. It tells me a little bit about mental makeup on him overall. Anyway, transferred over to Texas Tech University, earned the starting job there, but broke his collarbone week 4. So didn't really get to play very much. 4 games, 64 of 92, 872 yards, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And then again, he won the starting job in 22, but then misses a few games when he injured his left shoulder. He was named the Texas Bowl MVP that year, though, when they beat Ole Miss. 7 games, 106 of 177, 1,304 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Then 23, the man rolls his ankle back-to-back plays. That's not something you see very often in the game. X-ray showed he had a broken fibula, so that ended his season just 4 games in again. 4 games, 67 of 111, 746 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He faced a little adversity. So what did he do? He transferred again. 24 entered the transfer portal and switched over to Louisville. Had his first big season, which I guess 7th time's the charm here at this point. second all-time passing yards per game in Louisville history, 266.3. Second overall and passing touchdowns per game as well, 1.92. The team got into the Sun Bowl this year as well, but he decided not to play in order to prepare for the draft. 12 games this season, 244 completions out of 389 attempts, 3,195 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. So that's what basically has got him interested now in, people are interested in drafting him. That's a decent season to have. Not amazing, but it's a decent season to have. This is from the Draft Network. They listed his strengths and concerns: strength, easy velocity, minimal wasted movement and throwing motion, varying arm angles, underrated mobility, and maturity. Concerns: age. I said in parentheses, in regards to performance ceiling, which is true. I mean, you're 25, going to be 26 going into the season. How much room is there for growth at 26? Probably not much. Ability to drive passes downfield. Lower half mechanics. One read QB at times. That's been a theme, I feel like. One read QBs. We've had a lot of those in this draft here.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah. But here's where I look, and then I want to hear your thoughts on him there, Rob. We got a guy who had a decent last year when he finally got healthy the first time in a long time for a full season. But you got a guy with injury concerns now. It's been enough years. You can say injury concerns. You got a guy who is older now and probably doesn't have as high a developmental prospect because of the age. And then you throw in the fact that the guy has the issue still at 26, being, at least at a few months to be 26, where he's one read quarterback, has issues with some of his mechanics still. Like at 26, you should have all that stuff figured out by now. You should be going into like your prime years, basically. And I think that's why he looks so good at Louisville. Is he's literally a man playing with boys. I don't mean to say that in a Michael Jackson kind of way, but I'm just saying, like, that's what he is. He's 25 right now. He was 25 all season, playing against guys that are 19, 20 years old.
Be great to be 25 again.
I know. It's listen, I would love to be that young again. I'm just saying though, like that's what he is. He is an adult playing against kids.
So yes, he is old. He is a man compared to these college boys.
He's a man.
He's a man. Anyway, but yes, he's going to be 26 this year as the NFL when he gets drafted. But you could also say he spent 2 years, which was one with the 2 rolled ankles with a broken ankle, and then with a broken collarbone. All right, fine. The fibula where it connects to the ankle. A lot of people call that a broken ankle, but yeah, whatever. Hairline fracture above going into the one bone injury leg. Yes. Anyway, he also had a broken collarbone. Yes, he was injured 2 years in a row. I don't know if that calls for automatic injury prone. Just make sure that guy gets sponsored by milk or something.
Dude, he's been playing. He played 42 games in 7 seasons.
It's nuts. But
that's 6 games a season
on average. But you have 2 of them where he left in the 4th game
because of injuries.
Yeah, broken bones.
Here, you want to play? You want to play that? You could play game. Fine. Take out the 1 injured season he had, and in 6 seasons he played 30 games.
Then you would have to take out that whole season.
But I'm just saying.
That's mathematically that's just
kind of scary.
You're not wrong, but the guy needs to drink some milk and I don't know, take something else. Don't go on Ozempic because he needs his bone density.
He definitely needs the bone density.
But that being said, he also missed those 2 seasons, so you didn't get the experience as the boy that you would in college because you didn't sit there behind the line of scrimmage because you were on the sideline. Yes, a smart player would be looking at the books, doing whatever, but it's not in-game experience like you would get typically in your college career because you're off on the sideline with a broken something, whatever it may be. So I could understand some people saying, all right, yeah, he's
Van Wilder.
Pretty much. He's got room to grow. Van Waller grew. He graduated. He got his points. It was a happy ending.
It wasn't? That's a happy ending in Cleveland, I heard, too. That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he got, what's it, Tara Banks or whatever her name was?
Oh, my.
But that being said, it's like, you talk about the experience. It's also an experience due to injury. He was a grown man playing against young guys,
yes,
if you will. But it's also COVID times, which is a weird time for a lot of people.
Yep. Is this the last COVID draft, by the way? It's got to be like the last COVID draft, right?
It has to be at this point.
You'd hope so.
So you take that into factor, like, and you go somewhere, like, he may be able to learn a couple new tricks as an old dog, but I wouldn't expect much more. But to say like he should have all his faculties of in-game experience already, there's plenty of quarterbacks that learn coming into the NFL once you get into the NFL. That's usually how they thrive. Like there's some guys who take like, but once again, if he wasn't injured in COVID years, could have been different.
And if the queen had balls, she'd be the king.
Well, it's probably why there's a king.
I'm just saying, like
that saying's old. She's dead. Stop bringing up Drew.
It's true. She is. Not bad. I apologize to the royal family. It wouldn't sound right in the reverse. But yeah, like I said, my honest assessment of him is he's going to be the guy that's in for a couple of years. May occasionally do something where you go, maybe there is a chance, but he'll be out in a couple of years as well because of that. Because he's just not that good. I just don't think he is. And he'll make a little bit of money, and he'll go open up a used car dealership somewhere in Arizona, probably. You know, like it's just where I'm at with him. Like I feel like he's a guy that's going to be out for after a couple of years, or he'll be a guy that's just deep on the depth chart you never see. Like I'll give you this as a good example. Bailey Zappi. Don't even looking it up. Where does he play?
Didn't he just get signed somewhere? Jets?
See, you don't know. That's what he's going to be. Bailey Zappi. By the way, he's with the Chiefs.
Oh, that's right. I think he's going to have. He's probably going to have a career backup spot. Like
if he gets a career, I think he's going to be out in a couple of years. It needs to be deep on a depth chart somewhere, and you won't ever see him. Don't forget he's even still in the league, or he'll be out.
You're going to forget about him, but he's going to be one of those players that just goes around the league as a backup here or there.
Yeah,
like if Rudolph can make it in the NFL, I have faith in Shough.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I'm not saying we should get him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying his career.
We need someone. All right.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.